yesterday we started with this, right? So uh, if you'll see here, simple, robust, multi-threading, architectural, neutral, platform independent, secure, portable. These are all points we discussed already yesterday, and these points are nothing but the feature of Java. Okay, so few terms you will be hearing like JRE, JVM, JDK while using Java. So what exactly that is? No one is going to ask in interview about this, what is JRE, JDK, but for your understanding purpose, it is important because these terms we will be using, or not only like in work, like work wise, in organization also, if someone is asking about JVM and JRE, you should be able to understand what exactly that is. So if you'll see like the 3 points, very first 3 points are JRE, JVM, JDK. So JRE is nothing but this is the runtime environment. Okay, as I said, Java is not dependent upon the the any environment, because if I am writing any code, I'll compile it, and if I'll share the .class file with you, you can also start executing the same test case or same program, and it will also work in your system. So it is not dependent on the platform, like where that program is gonna it's gonna execute, where I have written that program. So it doesn't matter, whoever want can take the .class file and can execute. But for that, GRE should be there. So it is true, it is not platform independent, it's a platform dependent, but GRE is required, which will provide the runtime environment where exactly your Java will execute. Okay, so Java program will execute on the top of JRE. JRE is the Java runtime environment, which needs to be there before executing your program. Okay, what exactly it is? It is some libraries. Libraries is nothing but once I will start writing the program, you will see what if I'm trying to add something, right? Suppose I'm using few predefined methods which is already there inside the Java. So that will be there at some place, right? If Java has features of few predefined methods or predefined class, I can take the help of that, and that part specifically will stay somewhere, and that specific path you have to import, then only that class you can use. Let's say the example, a string is a one of the class of Java. Okay, we are not going to define a string, is already defined class. If you want to use string inside your program, you have to take the the path of that string, where exactly string stays, so that you have to import before. Okay, so that is named as a library. Library means where exactly your predefined method class will be available, and that you need to import before using the predefined methods or class. So JRE is the combination of that plus JDK. Okay, so JDK, I'll tell you what exactly it is. So just understand the theoretical part. Okay, once I will start the program, I will notate there what exactly is import, what is string class and all, right? JDK is nothing but it is a development tools. So if you are writing any program, you have to execute that program, or suppose some issue is there, you have to debug also, right? So IntelliJ provide the IntelliJ means IDE that will provide you the facility of debugging and compiling both. Okay, so you can compile your test case or your program, you can debug your program as well. Okay, that also we'll see once we'll start writing the program. And third term is like JVM. JVM is the main important part, because if you are writing the program, definitely you need some variables, or you need some the memory allocation for that the variables. So all those activities JVM will take care. So if you are assigning some memory to your variables, or at the end, if you need to remove that variable memory, or you need to release the memory, who will take care? JVM. JVM automatically will trigger the memory allocation, and it will clean the memory once the execution is done. So that all part is taken care by the JVM. So it helps to execute Java bytecode. Okay. So just remember these three terms. JTK is nothing but your debugging and compiling tool. GRE is the runtime environment which helps to execute the program, and JVM is nothing but the help. It's help to execute the bytecode, or you can say it helps to provide the memory allocation to your program and remove the memory once the execution is done. Okay, so these three terms are the related to the Java. IDE already we discussed. IntelliJ is one of the IDE which I asked you guys to install, and there exactly we will be writing the program. So that provides the platform where your Java program can be written. Okay, so we will be using the IDE IntelliJ. Now, these points already we discussed. What is object oriented, what is Java and all. Only one part is left here, like this structural diagram. Okay, so I'll just explain this diagram and then I will move further. Okay, so what exactly is this diagram is, if you'll see, first point is .java. If you'll see the first block, I have written HLL and then program, and inside that I have written the .java file. So what exactly it is, whenever you start writing the program, you will be saving that program with .java. Okay, so once you will start writing the program, I'll show you there. So if suppose I'm writing the program to add two numbers, okay, so that program I will write, and then that program will get created inside your IntelliJ. You will be able to see the name of the program. So before starting that, you have to provide the class name. Okay, so you need to provide the class name. That class name is gonna save inside your IntelliJ with .java extension. That will be your program. And as I said yesterday, program will be high level language. So this HLL is nothing but high level language in which I have written my Java program to add two numbers. That is nothing but .java file. Now what will happen once you will write the program, you will save inside your IntelliJ, you will be compiling it. So you will have two kind of activity there. One is compilation, second one is like execution. So compilation will happen before the execution. And what exactly will be happening there? The compilation is nothing but the checking of the syntax. So whatever syntax you are using, every programs will have their own syntax. You have to follow that syntax, right? So while compilation, that all syntax will be getting checked whether those are correct or not. If those are not correct, you will get the compile time error. But if it is correct, you will not get any compile time error. The bytecode will be get generated, and that is actually the .class file which we discussed yesterday. So .class file is nothing but once the compilation is done successfully, then your .class file will get generated, and that .class file later will get executed to provide you the output. Okay, so how this .class file will get executed? Again, the .class file will get executed with the help of libraries or packages you are using inside your program, plus JVM is required. As I said, JVM is someone who will take care of your entire test program, test case execution, allocation of the memory, and removal of the memory. Okay, so all these activity will happen at the fourth stage, that is the execution part. Once the execution is done, you will get the output. Okay, so output will be in terms of your suppose you are adding two numbers, so you will be getting the integer output, right? So that will be again in the high level form, because I have given the program in the HLN form, so I will get the output in the same form. Okay, again this diagram, if you are not understanding, it's totally understandable, because as of now you guys have not started the writing the code. Okay, so once I will start writing the code, I'll highlight all this part there so that you can correlate easily and that will be understandable. Okay, so this was not much tough, so I'll just move further and I'll start with the main topic of the Java. So this actually we have already covered most of the part yesterday. I have one more slide. Let me open it. Okay, so I'll start from here. So from here we are starting the concept of Java. So core Java concept. First point is like keywords. Okay. Now as I said, like I need to allocate some memory in the program. Okay, so suppose I have given the example to add two numbers, right? So how you will add two numbers? So inside your program, first of all, suppose I want to add 5 and 10. So you can easily add 5 and 10. Let me do one thing. I'll just open one paint screen so that I can explain you in a better way. Just 1 minute. Huh? Okay, I hope this screen is visible. No. This screen is visible, right? A paint screen where I'm typing something.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, just try to understand what I was highlighting. So suppose you want to add two numbers. Okay, so if you use calculator in day-to-day basis, there what we do 10 plus 15, suppose you are doing, what you will get the output 25, right? So same thing if you want to implement in your program. So what exactly that calculator is, that is also one program, right? So some program is getting executed in the background, you are not understanding, you are just seeing on the GUI 10 plus 15 is equals to 25. But behind this logic there is a one program. So if you want to create that program in Java, how you can do, you can do that in that way. Like first of all, if you'll see 10 and 15, these two are nothing but the user input. User will be providing this input, and 25 is the output which you will get from the machine or from the software or tools, right? So there are two ways. First is directly you add 10 plus 2 and try to get 25. But my program should not be constant value, should not be written in such a way that should work only for static value. So this 10 and 15 is the static value. I cannot hard code this in the program. Okay. It means I want to take the multiple dynamic inputs. Now I have taken 10 plus 15. Again, I want to take the 15 plus 20 or some random values. So my program should be work in each and every condition. So instead of hard code this 10 and 50 inside my program, what I can do, I can use the variable concept. Okay. So variable concept you can use inside your program, and that variables will tell about where exactly I'm gonna define my values, my integer values or dynamic values, where I can define. Okay. That is one of the concept. Now, suppose I want to define this 10 inside one variable. I have defined one variable X and I have given this value 10. Okay. Now I have one more variable Y and I have given the value 25. Okay. Now this X is the variable where I have stored this 10. Y is the variable where I have stored 25. Now if I will add this X plus Y, what will happen? This is just a simple mathematical term, right? So X value is 10, Y value is 25. So now if I'll do X plus Y inside my program, what will happen? 10 plus 25 will happen and I'll get the output 35. Okay, this is simple mathematics. So now you understand, like X is 10, this is nothing but integer value. Y is 25, this is integer value. How your program will come to know this X is integer or Y is integer? Because program will not understand anything. Program will totally depend on the user input. User have to tell each and everything what program have to do, or else program will not understand anything by its own. So what you can define here, you have to tell like this is nothing but int value. Okay, that means if you will type here int, that means now program will understand, okay, X is nothing but variable which is containing integer value. Again, why again it is integer, you have to type like this int. So Y is again one integer value which is containing value 25. So 25 is the integer. Okay, so like that. Tomorrow, if you want to add some decimal number, suppose you want to add Z also, and Z is equals to, if you are giving 2.5, suppose. Now this 2.5 is what? This is decimal value, right? Because I am using point. Point means it is not integer, it is decimal. And decimal value I have to define here like this, double. Now, why I have defined like this? Because z is equals to 2.5. I know it is a decimal. How your program will come to know this is decimal value? So this double is nothing but it will define your program. Hey, this z value is this is the decimal value, and this double is nothing but known as a keyword. So first point which I'm gonna discuss about keyword is this. Int is what? It is keyword. Double is what? It is keyword. Now the question will arise, what is keyword in Java? Okay, so let me tell about the keyword. So as I mentioned here, keyword, these are predefined words. Predefined means I am not defining. I have added int double there, right? That is not my own explanation or my own the assumption. This is something which is defined in Java. Java already have 50 keywords. Okay, 50 keywords are already there in the Java, and you have to understand each and every keyword and what is use of that. So int double, these two are also the keyword which is predefined in Java, which is not the user defined. Okay, and when to use what, that I will be telling you during my practical program session. Okay, so int and double is two keywords which is already present in Java, which we use there. Okay, so these are all predefined words, because predefined means Java already defined these words. And second is these are all reserved. Reserved means these these 50 keywords already reserved for a specific purpose. I cannot use for my own purpose. Okay, means that name is already allocated inside my program. I cannot use that name. So what exactly I want to describe here, let me just tell you. It means this int is nothing but some name which is already defined, right? Double is also defined. So tomorrow if I want to provide like this, suppose I want to add one more integer, so I'm giving int s is equals to suppose 25. Okay, so now this int means what? Again, this int is predefined keyword which is defining s is nothing but one variable which is having 25 integer value. Okay, again if I'll tell you what is int, int is predefined. I cannot give this s as an int. Okay, because this int is user defined. This x I am defining, y I am defining, z I am providing the name. Int, this is my own name which I am providing. So I cannot use already predefined words. 50 keywords are predefined that I cannot use for my own purpose. I have to use some other name which is not predefined by Java. So I cannot take the already defined keywords as a user defined words, right? So that's why it is the reserved words. I cannot use already predefined reserved words. Okay, all these will be clear in the the practical session. So as of now, just try to understand the theoretical part so that at least basic understanding you guys will have. Then I'll jump to the program and I'll write the same thing and I will show you what error you will get if you are using the already predefined word in the Java. So these are all predefined words already reserved for some purpose. I cannot use that name. Okay, and third one is like each keywords have predefined meaning. Okay, so 50 keywords are there, each and every keywords having their own meaning, and all are case sensitive. It means case sensitive, it means if you'll see here, I have just a minute. Okay, okay, so if you'll see here, I have used this int in a small letter. Double is small letter. I cannot write like this, I caps and then int. I cannot use this. This is wrong because this is case sensitive. It means the way it is defined in the Java, same way I have to use. If it is used in a small letter, I have to use in a small letter. If it is in a caps, I have to use in a caps. Okay, so it is case sensitive. Each and every keyword in Java will be in a small letter only. You will not get any capital letter there. So it is case sensitive, and we have 50 keywords. As I said, 48 keywords we are using. Two keywords are not in use. Okay, so what are all those 50 keywords? If I'll type the name, it will take a lot of time. So better what I'll do, I'll take this screenshot. So if you will directly Google it like Java 50 keywords, you will easily get. So why I'm not typing? Because again, 50 keywords, if I'll start typing, it will take a lot of time. Any screenshot you can take. See, one of the screenshot I am opening here. Okay, see here, if you'll see, like, these are all the 50 keywords. Okay, so 50 keywords, I'm just trying to highlight what are all the keywords. If you'll see, Boolean, short, for, case, catch, final, interface, protected, this, byte, void, to, default, finally, import, all these are the predefined. Means there is some purpose of each and every keyword which is defined by the Java. We cannot, use the same name for our own purpose. There is some purpose for these specific names, and we have to use in that way only in our program. If you'll see here, the third column, second row, int is there, right? So integer is there, and this int is in small. Okay, so we are using this int to define the integer value. Okay, the same way, if you will check, there will be a double also somewhere. So if you'll go and check where exactly, see a fourth column, first point, double is there, right? It means it is already predefined. I'm just taking the help of this. So like that, each and every keyword will be getting used in your program, and whenever I will be using this keyword in my program, I will be telling you and I will be highlighting you. Okay, it's not like everything you have to learn from the first day. While writing the program, this keyword will come to your way, and you have to just understand the purpose of the keyword. In that way, you will understand in a clear way. Okay, so if you want, anyhow, I'll just give this inside my notes. But if you want, I can just copy this, or else do one thing. I'll just copy this link. It will be better for you. I'll just add it here. If you want, you can take from here, or else it's easily available in the Google. If you can type and you can access any link, you will be able to get it. Okay, just let me jump here. So now the 50 keywords are clear, and 1 minute. Okay, so same example I have given here in int I is equals to 10. Okay, this is the right, because I and the int all in the lower case, right? But second example I have given, I is caps. So this is wrong, because as I said, it is case sensitive. We cannot use the upper and lower case as per our convenient. Whatever is defined, predefined, we have to use in that way only, right? So second one is the wrong, because I is caps. First one is correct. Okay, and int is what? This used to define the integer value. If you're storing some variable inside any storing some values inside any variable, you have to tell which kind of variable that is. Means which kind of value that variable is storing. So I have defined here int. That means 10 is int kind of value which I have used, which I have placed inside the variable I. Okay, as of now, just focus on the keyword. Variable I'm using because variable keyword both are the dependent. So once I will start the second topic, variable, I will tell you. As of now, just focus on the keyword. Okay.
So the capital int can we use as a variable? So it's case sensitive, right?
Correct. You can use whatever is not defined inside your keyword, that you can take, that you can use as a variable. But if once it is already there inside the predefined keyword, you cannot use it in the variable.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So now second thing is identifier. Okay, so identifiers. So what is identifiers? So keyword is nothing but predefined, which is not defined by the user. That is defined by the programmer. Okay, Java have defined these keywords. But what is identifier? Identifier is something which is user defined. Means as a user, as a programmer, when I am writing the program, I will define that. Okay. So what are all those? Class name, I have to define. Variable name, I have to define. Method name, I have to define. So these things, it's up to me what exactly name I'm providing. Okay, there is no restriction there. So class name, as I said, like in the IntelliJ, if you will write the program, any logic if you want to define and develop, where you will be writing. You have to create one class first, and inside that class you have to provide your logic. So that class name is up to you what exactly you wanna give there. Okay. And second is variable name. As you can see here, I have given int I. So this I is what? I is variable which is defined by me. I can give any name. I can give my name here in place of I. That will also work because that is identifier. That is user defined, not the Java defined or not the predefined keyword. So that's why variable name is also identifier. Third is method name. Method name also you have to provide. So Java is having the predefined main method. Okay. But if you want to use your own method, you can create one own function, own method as well. And there also you have to provide your own, own name. And make sure like this variable name, class name, and method name, these three are identifiers. They should not be same as a keyword. Keyword name you cannot use here. Your name should be unique. Name should not be same as a keyword. That is the check. Now if you are defining these names, you have to take care of few things. There are some rules which you have to take care at the time of defining the names. Okay, what are all those rules? I'll just go through one by one. It is alphanumeric. You can use alphanumeric names, like you can use alphanumeric inside your names, like class name, variable name, method name, whatever you're defining. That might be alphanumeric. That is totally acceptable. Second is it should not start with numbers. Okay, your name should not be start like this. So if I'll go here, so it should not be like this. You have given here X, right? You can give anything like X, X1 you can give, alphanumeric X2 like this I can give, but it cannot be like this. So you cannot put one in the beginning. You cannot use 1x. So it means your name is nothing but this 1x, but this is starting with 1. This is the number, right? So you cannot start any name, any variable name, class name, method name with the number. So that check you have to do. So same thing I have mentioned here, it should not start with any numbers. Numbers might be there after the, after your, you can say alphabet. Okay, it might be at the end, but it should not, it could not be in the beginning. That is the second check. Okay, and these things you no need to remember because IntelliJ is very, very wise IDE. Once you will type, you will get the error. If you are trying to add the number in the beginning, you will get the error there itself. Okay, so you will understand at that time this is not the right way to write. Okay. Third point is like keyword should not be used as identifier. As I already mentioned, keyword is predefined. I cannot take the help that inside my variable name. Variable name cannot be the same. Okay. Fourth is identifier can consist of only two symbols. Okay. Special characters also you can use inside your program, inside your variable name or method and class name, but make sure those like those special characters are only underscore and dollar symbol. You can use only these special characters, underscore and dollar symbol. You cannot use any other, like percentage is there, exclamatory symbol is there, right? Those kind of special character you cannot use while defining the identifiers. Okay, only these two are allowed. Fifth point is a space should not be used in identifiers. Obviously, if you are defining any variable name and that variable name is very huge, like let's say 20 or 30 20 or 30 characters are there, so that could not be like the space wise. You cannot give the space in between. That should be like without space. Entire name should be without space. So you cannot define like this int user defined variable is equals to 10. Okay, so you cannot provide name like this. If you want to provide this much big name, you can remove the space and you can give like this. But if you want to the keep separation between the words, you can keep like this user, after that provide underscore, defined, after that underscore. So in that way you can separate the the words with this special character underscore, but you cannot keep the space. If you will keep the space like this, it will not work. Okay, it means this will become as a variable, and this will again become as a one variable. Two variable name for a one value cannot be allowed, so it will give you the error. Okay, now example I have given here. Suppose if you'll see, as of now I'm just giving the example of int, right? But here if you'll see, I have the example of boolean also. Boolean is one of the keyword. Okay, so what I did, boolean and my name or any random name is equals to true. So this true is nothing but the value, exact value which I'm providing in this variable. And boolean means which kind of variable. True false is nothing but boolean value, right? As in this example, in the previous example, I was giving 10, 20. These are all what? Integer value. That's why I have given int as a keyword. 2.5 is double. It means it's a float or double value. I have given the same keyword. So if I will give the true or false, then suppose if flag is my variable name and is equals to true. So this true is what? This true or false is nothing but your, okay, not this, equal to. This is the Boolean kind of value, right? So I have to provide same keyword here, Boolean. Okay, spelling is not correct. Okay, so like that, this Boolean is also one of the keyword which is defining. Flag is having the value true, which is a Boolean kind of value. Okay, so that same thing I have defined here. Okay, now another point is literal. So multiple points I'm defining here. First, I have defined keyword. Second, I said what is identifier. Now, third is the literals. What is literal? So these terms are, these terms are very important in terms of understanding the Java program. So you will be hearing this term, multiple times, and almost these terms will be there in each and every program. Okay, so everywhere keyword you will be using, identifier is required, literals will be there. So these three are the commonly used terms. So what is literals? Okay, so literals means this is nothing but
Uh,
if you,
Actually, I didn't get what is identifier. If you don't mind, could you explain it again?
okay, identifier is nothing but, if I'll tell you here, let me tell you in the example. Okay, here what I did, if you can take an example, if you will take this, okay, just take this only, Boolean. What I did, Boolean flag is equals to true. What is this flag? This flag is nothing but some name which I have given. Okay, so instead of that, if I'll give my name, suppose. Okay, so this I have given my name. So this is what, this is variable name. Variable name is totally depends upon you, what name you are providing here. Okay, now, and this is what, this is the Boolean is nothing but this is keyword which is not I am defining. This is predefined keyword which is defined by the Java. I have to use this keyword to tell which kind of value I'm gonna store in this variable name, Mithilesh. Okay, so I am storing the value true inside this variable. So true is which kind of value, how you will define. If I'll not define this, if I'll just tell Mithilesh is equals to true, that means, okay, you will understand this true is nothing but Boolean value which is gonna store inside the Mithilesh variable. But if you are using this in program, how your program will understand this variable name Mithilesh is true or false is a Boolean kind of value, or integer kind of value, or float or double, how your program will understand. You have to define here, hey, this is the Boolean value. Now your program will just come and check, okay, Mithilesh is Boolean value. Okay, then this true is also a Boolean. So this Boolean is keyword because it is already predefined. I'm just using it to denote my variable, the purpose of the variable. And this Mithilesh is my user defined name. This is identifier. Identifier is something which is not predefined, which I'm defining. I can give your name also, I can give any random name also. Everything is fine because this is up to me what I am defining. So this is identifier which you have defined. Boolean is something which is already predefined, which I am using, which is a keyword. Got it? Any doubt here?
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So anyhow, this is, I'm practically, once I will start writing program, I have to create class, variable, method. That time I will tell you like how this works. And most of the time I will be using keywords also there. So I will correlate there. It will be more easier. As of now, just understand the keyword and identifiers both are different. Identifier is whatever I am giving, I am providing the name in my program, and keyword is something which already defined by the Java or JVM, and I'm just using that. Okay, now third point is literals. Okay, literals is also like is a one of the term in Java. Okay, so which is used to perform some actions. So if you'll see how many literals we have these four literals. We have number literal, character, boolean, string. Okay, so these four literals I will be using inside my program. So first is like integer, float. Okay, so these two again are the numeric literals. I have used one thing here, right? So if you see here, I have used this int, I have used this boolean. Okay, I have used this double, this I am using. So these can be categorized again. So what I am doing here, all integer kind of value, float kind of value, double value, all these comes under the number literal. Okay, if I'm using anything, if I'm using as a single inverted comma, if you'll see, if I'm providing anything in the single inverted comma, that will become as a character. Okay, so let's say here, if I'll provide anything like this, okay, or suppose first char. So this is my variable name which I am defining, and I'm giving first character is M, like this. So now this M is what I have given in the single inverted comma. So if I'm anything, if I'm defining in a single inverted comma, that will become as a character. Okay, but again, I know this is character, one character, but your program is will not understand this. So you have to say here char. So this is again the predefined character. Okay, so predefined keyword char, which defines this M is nothing but the character. So this char is the predefined. So the same thing I mentioned here. Anything is single inverted comma, that is character, and character is one of the literals. Okay, this I'll again tell you what exactly this is. What is number, boolean, string, and character. So in simple words, if you will, if you want to understand, if you can take any example, suppose double z is equals to 2 for 2.5. Double is what? Keyword. Z is what? In identifier. After equal to whatever you are writing, that is literal. What is 2.5? That is literal. Okay, an example, if I'll take char, first char is equals to M. Char is what? This is the keyword predefined. First char is what? This is variable which is user defined. M is what? This is literal which is gonna save inside your variable first char. Any doubt between keyword, identifier, literals, or it is clear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So class name, method name, this I will be describing once I'll start my first program. So how we used to provide the class name and the method name. So there is a proper syntax I'll define there. Okay, fine. So and these three things are the basic things, like basic terms, which is very important if you are writing any program, because once you will understand this small concept, then it will be very easier to write the program. Okay. So one more thing I have defined here, concatenation. Just understand the term. What is this concatenation term? So in the integer kind of addition, what we do, we used to add two numbers, 10 and 15. I am adding and I am saying it is 25, right? So in mathematical term, you use this term addition. So whenever I will tell you addition, you will think, okay, addition means you are adding two numbers. But in case of a string, you cannot use addition. Okay, addition word is just for the integer kind of value. If you want to add two strings, then you have to call this name concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but addition of two string values. Okay, and how we perform this? The again same plus symbol I will be using here for string also, but this is named as a concatenation in the Java. So if you can see here the example which I have given, string first name is equals to something tester I have given. String is what? Again, keyword. First name is what? This is my user defined name. You can say it's identifier. Tester is what? This is nothing but your literals, right? This is the first thing. Second, again, last name I have defined as a zone. Okay, I want to add these two, last name and first name I want to add. So what I can do, I can use concatenation. So third line, if you'll see, a string full name. Full name is again defined by you, and in the full name, what I'm doing, I'm adding first name and the last name. This addition again I'll do with the help of plus symbol only, but this is known as a concatenation in Java. So concatenation means when we are adding the string values or any value with the string. One value should be string or another value is up to you. You want to add the integer with a string or boolean with a string or a string with a string. Everything will come as a concatenation, because if any one value is a string, that means it is concatenation. Okay, so if you see the example, I have added 1 plus 1. This will not become 2 because first value 1 is what? This is the string value, because everything in the double inverted comma will come as a string. If I'll tell you here, this is the character because this is in the first inverted comma. If I'll give like this, first name is equals to Mithilesh. I cannot keep like this Mithilesh. I have to provide it in the double inverted comma like this. Okay, then it will be correct, because in the double inverted comma, if I'm providing anything, it will be the string. So which kind of keyword I have to use? I have to use the string keyword. Okay, if I'm defining in the single inverted comma, this will be character. If I'm not defining anything, this will become as a integer or double. Okay, so now let me come here. Now, if I'm defining this, one is a string because in the double inverted comma, and second one is a simple one, that is the integer. String plus integer, that will not be getting added as a 1 plus 1 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2 ones, both are same, both is integer. Here one is in string and one is integer. That means it's gonna add as it is. 1 plus 1 is equals to 1 1 like this. Understood? Any doubt here? How it is 1 plus 1 is equals to 1 1 11, not a 2? Yes, no. If you're not understanding, that is also fine. You can let me know. I'll repeat.
So the whatever the value inside the double inverted commas, it will print the same, right?
Correct. So what it will do, it will print first this as it is 1. After that, this integer is gonna add here. Add means here this is concatenation. First name plus last name, what happened? Tester will come here like this, see, and zone again, it will get added with this string like this. Same thing happened here. One it will get printed here first, and the second is again integer. It's not gonna add with this because this is the string. The string with integer will be string only. So one and then again second one. It will be coming like this. It will not 1 plus 1 2. If you'll see here, second example is again very tricky. First of all, I have used 1 plus 1. So here these two are not the string, right? So mathematical operation will get performed here. 1 plus 1 it will become 2. After that, 2 plus this 1. This 1 is now a string. Okay, so now 2 plus 1, it will not become 3. It will be 2 will be your addition which you are getting from here, and then you are adding with the string. The moment you will add with the string, it will be as it is. So 2 and then after 1. Getting the difference here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So it means until you are gonna add with this one, or if you are just adding like this, suppose 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus double inverted comma 4. Okay, so until you will reach here, before that, before this plus symbol, whatever is there, this you can add directly because 2 and 3 both are the same type, right? Integer. So 2 plus 3, 5. You can add 5, and after 5, you have what is remaining? You have remaining this 4. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so 3 plus 2 you have added. This is 5. Now, after that, what is there? 4 and 5. So the remaining thing is 4, and then you have this 5. This is remaining, right? Now, again, operation will be get performed between these two. So 5 plus 4, this is both are integer. Now it will become 9. And then again, what is left? Plus this 5 is left, right? Now this term will be like one is integer, one is string. Now this will not get added 9 plus 5 and it will not provide you 14. It will be 9 first, and then after that this is string which will come as it is. It will become 95. Okay, so integer with the string will be concatenation, but the remaining is not the concatenation. This is the simple mathematical addition. So you have to take care of this. Okay, so now and again, this I'll tell you later. This sorry, a plus a, this will become 194. Okay, it will not become a because this single inverted comma is the character, double inverted comma is the string. So how it will become a and a? Sorry, how it will become 194? Again, this is one of the term in the Java that I will explain later. As of now, you can just understand in Java, small a to small z. Okay, the number you can define between the numbers 97 to 122. Okay, it means if someone will ask the ASCII value of a small a, you can say 97. Okay, so capital A to capital Z, ASCII value is 65 to 90, and 0 to 9, the ASCII value is 48 to 57. Okay, I'll tell you later with the diagram what exactly it is. So if you're trying to add here, last example, if you see system.out.println and a plus a. So this a is what? This is character. You are using addition symbol, and again you are trying to add a small a. So since you have used the addition symbol, it will try to first it will check whether character can be converted into the integer or not. Okay, so if character can be converted, then it will first convert into the integer. What is the integer or ASCII value of a small a? 97. Here if you see 97. So now it will convert into 97. So 97 plus 97, it will become 194. How it happened, I'll tell you later. As of now, just understand this, like character can be converted into the ASCII value, and the ASCII value of all three is this. Okay. Fine. So this is actually the few important points. What is keywords and what is keyword identifier? Okay. And the literal, what is concatenation? Now one term is left, that is the variables. I'll tell you about the variable also, and then at least we can start with our first, with the first program. Okay. So let me jump. I think I have one more screenshot here. Third one. This is also done. Let me open another one. Okay. So what is variable? Now understand this term also very carefully, because variable, we have a multiple types of variables. So you need to understand about this very clearly. What is that? Because very key role is gonna play by this. This variable is gonna play a very key role inside your program, because this depends upon the class, or it depends upon the object also. So how it get like how it will be differing from the class or object, there is a concept of static, non-static, like that. So you have to understand very carefully. First of all, variable is very simple. What is variable? So variable is nothing but it is the user defined values. Okay, or user defined values, it is gonna stored inside the memory. Okay, so if I am saying, if I said here, if you see, I have given the one example. Example was 1 minute. Why it is not opening? Okay, if you see, I have given so many examples. Int 1a is equals to 10. Now this 10 is gonna store somewhere. 1x is nothing but the variable. This variable is nothing but JVM is gonna store this value 10 inside the variable 1x. Okay, just the simple name I'll give here, or simple example I'll provide here. Suppose you guys used to stay somewhere, right? So suppose you are staying in one apartment or somewhere like your own house you are staying, right? There will be some name, right? Some how you will define, like I used to stay here. Okay, so if you are staying in the apartment, there will be some address of that apartment, name of the apartment, and then suppose you are staying at the third floor or fourth floor, or there is some door number, right? You are staying at the room, like room number 150 or 170, anything, right? So that is what, that is the notation where exactly you are staying. Okay, suppose I'll say like Amin is staying, suppose apartment ABC, and room number suppose 400 or 111 at third floor. Suppose I will define this. So it means if anyone wants to meet with you, they have to go here, right? So 111 is nothing but your actual room number where that person can go and meet, right? So I can say like this, 111 is nothing but the location where exactly you will be staying, right? So that location is captured by you. In the same way, in the program, what is gonna happen? If I will tell like this int 1x is equals to 10, that means 10 is gonna store inside your memory somewhere, right? How you will define that location? Some location is gonna captured by the by the value 10. So this 1x will define that memory location. So if you will see here in this diagram, I have clearly mentioned this 10 is going to store in this one place, and the name of this place will be the variable name you are providing. I'm providing I as a variable name. So this 10 space is nothing but defined by I. Okay. Or better to say, I will just provide you the example here. So let's say this is the apartment, okay, where exactly or let's say this is the room number 111 where exactly you are staying or Amin is staying. So I can say here Amin is staying here, okay, and if someone wants to meet, the location will be this. So location will be like 111. So now if once I will say 111, whenever I will say 111, people will get to know, okay, 111 is the name of this entire, the place which is captured by Amin. Same thing here. If you check here, 10 is the one place which is captured by the value 10. And what is the name of that, space which is captured by 10? I. Okay. So I is nothing but the variable which defines how much memory you are gonna capture. So this 10 is gonna capture this much memory, and which is allocated the variable name I. Is it clear?
Yep.
Okay. Fine. So the variable name is nothing but the memory is gonna captured by the any values inside your local system. Okay. And who is gonna define? It's not your responsibility. It's a JVM responsibility to go and allocate the memory. Now again, the question will come: how JVM will come to know how much memory I have to allocate to this? Okay. So that I will be just explaining here. If you see here. If you see exactly here, okay, actually I have not defined here as well. Okay, so how the JVM will come to know? So there is a concept of memory allocation, or the how much the value should be get captured or should be stored by the each and every data type. Okay, so for integer, how much the space is required. For a string, how much space is required. For boolean, how much space is required. That is already predefined. You don't need to define. JVM will automatically understand if integer value is gonna store in the variable, this much location is required, or 4 byte is required, 2 byte is required, 6 bytes is required. JVM already have the understanding of that. So JVM was just to go and create the one location with that memory size, and it will allocate that specific space to that variable value. Okay, so now I hope variable is clear, which is a very simple thing. Now we have a three types of, first of all, in a high level, we have a two types of variable: primitive, non-primitive. Okay, so primitive variable is nothing but it is used to store the primitive data. Okay, what is primitive data? Your numbers. As of now, we have discussed about the character, right? We have described the number, what is number, what is character, what is the Boolean value. All these are the primitive. Okay, int kind of value we saw, right? Float is again the kind of primitive. So all the values which we have used till now, everything is primitive. Non-primitive means if we are storing the non-primitive data, like there is a concept of exception array in the program in our Java. I'll not go in depth in that, because once we'll come to that topic, you will understand. As of now, totally you have to focus on the primitive data type. Okay, it means integer, boolean, float, double, string, character. Okay, not string, sorry, character. So those are all the primitive. You have to understand that primitive data type first, primitive variable first. Okay, inside the primitive and non-primitive, again we have a three kind of variables. One is the local variable, then static variable, non-static variable. And static, non-static is very important, because most of the interview questions will be aligned here, and you will be getting the questions: what is static, what is non-static, why we use, what is importance of this. So you have to understand it very clearly. Okay, we have primitive variables, and inside primitive we have this local variable, static variable, non-static variables.
Okay.
Okay, and again integer. Okay, fine. And if you see here, actually what I have defined here, I have defined here like integer, not integer, sorry. I have defined here, see, byte, short, int, long, okay. And I have defined in the bracket how much memory is gonna, it's gonna take. So as I said, like JVM will allocate the memory, how JVM will understand, it is also defined inside the Java. Int kind of data type or int kind of keyword will gonna store in any place having 4 byte of memory. So 4 byte of memory is gonna take by the integer. Okay, there integer is also might be having the the long kind, having these many types: long, int, short. So this depends. If you are storing any variable in the int, that means it is gonna take 4 byte. If suppose the variable size you need like a huge, not 4 byte, 8 byte you need. So for that, the data type you have to use the long, not int. So as of now, just focus on the int, and int kind of data will be captured, will be capturing 4 byte of memory in your local system. Okay, and float, character, boolean, it is already discussed. Okay, now you have to understand what is actually the local variable. Okay, and what is actually the primitive and what is actually the non-primitive. These three things you have to understand. Okay, and before that, let me just explain you one more thing. So I'll just explain what is exactly int I is equals to 10. So I will try to break this, and I'll let you know how exactly we can define it. Int I is equals to, or let's say something, user input I am giving. User input is equals to 15. Okay, int user input is equals to 15. So now int is keyword, we are clear with. Second one is variable. Okay, this is also clear. Third one is literal. Okay, now if you see here what I'm doing, I'm defining one variable with the name user input. I'm placing the value 15 inside that. Okay, which kind of value it is? It is the int kind of value. But in the variable term, we break this in a three part. First is like declaration. Okay, and then after initialization, third one is like utilization. Okay, what exactly this is? So these three things will happen whenever you will define any kind of variable in this way. Internally, what is happening? Declaration, initialization, utilization. Again, this is no one gonna ask, but just for your understanding purpose, at least basic should be clear. That's why I am just defining it. So what exactly happens? Somewhere you will see, instead of writing this, what they use, instead of writing this first line, how they used to define, they used to define like this: int user input. They will just define like this is the first like this is the first line of code. Second line they will define like this: user input is equals to 15, and then they will use this 15 in the program. So let's say they are using they want to print this. So system.out.println, this is the syntax in Java to print anything. I'll tell you once I'll start writing the program, and I'll just try to print this user input value. That's it. So if you'll observe here, what exactly happened here, let me just put it here. Okay, if you'll see here, first line is all, if you want to define everything, you want to declare the value, initialize the value, and utilize and want to utilize, you can merge everything in a single line. Int user input is equals to 15. That means here I have done two activity: declaration and initialization. Okay, this is also correct. But if you are the beginner level, if you want to start like from very basic, then we can start like this: int user input. That means I have defined one user input as a variable, and which kind of values this user input is gonna store? Int. Okay, this is my first line of code. Second place, what I did, I just use this user input variable and I place this 15 value inside it. Okay, and instead of writing these two lines, if you want to merge these two lines in a single line, you can use like this. First one, I'm using this variable inside my program. Suppose I have used to print this, so this printing statement is also the one of the utilization of this. So everywhere, wherever you are defining any variable, these three terms will be applicable: declaration, initialization, and utilization. Again, it's not an interview question, just for your own understanding purpose, I described this. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now let me just give you the intro about the local variable. Okay, I'll just tell you the theoretical part now, and the program will start from tomorrow. So anyhow, the setup is ready for you guys. We can start with the first program tomorrow. So let me tell you what is local variable. Okay, like local variable, as name suggests, local means it will be local to the specific block, you can see. Okay, a specific block means you can say method is also one of the specific block, right? So if you're defining any variable which is only applicable to that specific method, not for the other method. So in any class might be having multiple methods. Okay, it's up to you how much methods user is defining. One will be the main method, other will be like user defined method, which you can call inside your main method. Okay, I'll tell you later once I'll write the program. So as of now, you just understand like local variable is something something whose extent the you can say the which can be used inside the same kind of the block is nothing but the method. Existence of that variable will be only applicable inside your method or a specific block, not outside of that. Okay, if I have defined some variable for one method, that variable will be local for that. I cannot use the same variable for the another method. Okay, if I'm using the same name, it is fine. That will get acted as a new variable, not the same variable. Okay, so first point is the variable which is declared inside the method or constructor or inside any block is known as the local variable. Yeah, that's it for today. Whatever we discussed, this is just the basics which we will be using in each and every program. Tomorrow onwards, we'll start with the program. I'll describe all these, whatever we discussed, and then we'll move, further. We'll describe the other kind of variables will be sufficient there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. But in videos also, they're showing differently. Like